happening Morocco to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Fonjema, Maryland to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat kepa, gradually, my brother to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You want to get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today? Spoon TV. Yes, what you got today? Spoon TV.
Okay, Spoon FM, Spoon Radio, Spoon TV, Spoon Entertainment. We'd like to welcome everyone to the program tonight. This is the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. Thanks for joining us tonight. This is where we talk Liberia. We bring you the updates. We bring you objective analysis on those different issues across the country, and afford you the opportunity to have your say as we move on with discussing those different issues. So I'd like to say welcome. Thanks for joining us tonight again on another edition of the program, the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. Now please share the program as you come on tonight. Let's hope we can have a great conversation. And with a whole lot happening across Liberia, this is the space where we get to talk those issues every night. So welcome. Let me go across the table and welcome our brother Raymond Zeze. Mr. Zeze, thanks for joining us tonight. It's good to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me, Nelson. Thanks. Greetings to our audience. Great to be here tonight again.
Do you have something in the background, maybe a gadget playing? Apparently something you were using to monitor the show while you were trying to log in. Yes, I'm hearing myself. But it's a great thing that we're here tonight again to talk Liberia, to discuss the issues. I have this view that you're experiencing some cold.
Yes. I'm under the weather.
Yes.
But is my mic clearer than what it was when I got started?
Yeah. Okay. It's clearer. It's better. Yeah,
I had my TV on, even though I had the volume low. I didn't know it was going to affect it.
Okay. But, just looking at the independent before your name, it reminds me of what Vasco said. Vasco said some people say they are independent, but it's just important that they, reveal who they really are, Not talking about independent, but then they're supporting the government, But it's a great thing, and that's the beauty of what we do here. We come with diverse opinions on those different issues, and that's the beauty of democracy in the first place. That we will all not sit on the same side. We will not have the same perspective on those different issues, and and that's the beauty of what it is. But thanks for being here tonight, Raymond. Let me bring Anthony.
Let me speak to me being independent. I'm independent in my thoughts.
Independent.
Anthony, we haven't welcomed you to the show yet. You just keep on. You keep with a question.
He's a disruptor. I'm independent in my thought. My thoughts isn't influenced by any individual, anybody. I reason based on the variables, the happenings. I'm not a member of any political party. Don't desire to be one. So everything that Raymond projects is Raymond. Nobody else has an influence, has a control. Nobody tells me to move and I move, sit and I sit, get up and I get up. I'm not aligned to any group of people ideology, perception
You know,
or view.
Vasco
Every
put you in a position now where you are having a press conference to clarify, you know,
no, no, you said that, so I'm speaking to you. So everything I ever put for every idea is original to
you know,
me, or I
that's
buy
the
it
of
from
the system.
someone and I bought it, but did not pass it down to me. It's not a watered down where they instruct me to
Yeah.
do. Unlike other
And
people
that's
from
what you
political
have aberration.
parties who
Look,
got to follow their
Remo,
party
when
agenda,
Vasco comes
idea, and the
on,
likes.
we're gonna end the show with that. With that, when Vasco comes on, it's gonna be great. We're hopeful of having a great conversation tonight. But Anthony, it's good to have you on. Let's recognize a few of our folks here tonight, and then we come to do our opening. A lot is still happening across the country. Capitol
No,
Hill is
I thought
still.
at the opening that River was doing so.
No, yeah, Remo have done his opening already, but we want to
Okay.
recognize a few of our folks, and then I'll
And
come
Anthony
back to
as well, because he
you.
interrupted, so he completed it opening.
And so, yes, Capitol Hill is still that place of interest. Um, there's a whole lot going on. Democracy is at work. The legislative workings is something that's getting a lot of people interested, especially of recent, given the back and forth that's been going on at the level of the lower house. But the upper house has gotten involved. They had a immediately after session, they all went to a very strategic meeting today. As soon as the Senate adjourned, the vice
Yeah.
president presided
So
today. As a
the
matter,
speaker wrote them.
the vice president presided today. My understanding is that there was some meeting, there was some engagement the speaker had with
He's gonna
them.
reach out to the VP
Yeah,
and the Senate Pro Tem.
and so today immediately following the adjournment of today's sitting at the Senate, after the vice president presided, then the pro tem made a quick announcement. All senators report, emergency meeting, report. You gotta go. Let's discuss to see how best we can intervene in what's happening at the level of the lower house. But should we have the Senate in the first place get involved with this process? Yes, one branch of government, but two houses, the lower house, the upper house. And someone may say that maybe they need to get involved because what affects the lower house sort of affect the workings of the upper house, because if the Senate was to pass on a particular instrument that needs the concurrence of the House of Representatives, it becomes a problem because the House of Representatives is at war. But this is where we are. And so a lot is still going on up Capitol Hill. There are the Senate, they released a statement. We're going to be looking at that as well. They've established a committee called the Mediation Committee to address the ongoing conflict between the anti-Kofa bloc and the majority bloc of the House of Representatives. And that committee is expected to take some sort of action that will promote peace and ensure a stable legislature. They want to ensure that democracy goes back to work. But isn't democracy at work in the first place? The fact that a group of people who elected one person to be their leader can come back and say, no, we don't want this person to be our leader. We're gathering the numbers. We're trying to put the numbers together to follow the process to ensure that this person isn't our leader. Since, in fact, we are the ones who made the decision as to whether this person should be our leader. So the committee is being chaired by Senator Gbesonga Milton Finley, and I want us to look at the makeup of the committee, the folks that are on that particular committee, and their alignment, their political alignment, and what sort of influence do they come with? To what extent can they intervene, not interference, but intervene to ensure that this issue is addressed? Senator Milton Gbesonga Finley, you know his political alignment. You have Senator Wellington Jevon Smith, and those two are chairs and the co-chairs of this particular committee, the mediation committee. And you have Senator Thomas Yaya Nimle, and of course Senator Blebo Brown, and Senator Daba Vabla of uh, what's the county? Grand Cape County. So this is where we are, and of course, this is ongoing. It is big. Some folks have said that it is not going to end anytime soon. The speaker has threatened some court action to compel those absent lawmakers to go back to session, to go back to doing the Liberian people's business. He's going to be going to court. That's what he says. He's not backing down. He's not resigning. He's going to get to the logical conclusion, as some of the folks who say, of this particular issue. And so this is where we are. I want us to kickstart the conversation from here. Mobile, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on. Just to recognize a few of our folks: Ling Lacour, Hashim Fambole, Francis Dobor. Guys, please share the program as you come on tonight.
Link is there. It's a very regular follower.
Yeah, let's hope we can share the program tonight. I see Jackson.
There's not cutting or
Tap it. Mama, I'm going to come to you. Tapet Tobe is here. Madam Marcia Snelling, Ban Alice Ban, yes. Hipko Kazi, thanks to everyone, Lord Power, Nathaniel, K Hill, Eric McGill, and everyone for coming on tonight. Again, please share the show as we start kickstart the conversation tonight. I mean, Anthony, let me come to you. Let's have you to do your opening quickly, and then we can move into the conversation. We're not here long tonight. It's going to be a very short show. I see more already falling.
And that phone falling down there.
Yeah, it's going to be a very short.
I can't hit it out.
I mean, why you wonder why the show going to be so short? But listen, good evening, my dear brother Raymond and Marba. Good evening to our dedicated and amazing followers, listeners, and viewers of the Nick Line Show. I want to say you are highly welcome tonight. We appreciate your presence here, especially the comment section. You know, for me, I always in the comment section reading the comment. Every single comment I read it. So whether or not I respond to your comment, that besides the point. But we appreciate your comment and we appreciate you being here. You know, if you can hit that share button, we appreciate you as well. You know, some of you in Liberia is already late and you're here. But I'm excited that we're having this discussion tonight. I'm glad I'm here tonight for all to have the discussion. My brother Raymond says he's an independent. We will see if his opinion on this matter will remain independent. That's all I can say, folks. But I'm excited to be here, and I like the way the speaker is not caving into what is being brought before him or against him, but just follow the law. If the law is on your side, you have the number, go ahead. If they can't come out with the number, they cannot continue to escape section, then you have to go to court and force them to come to section because they're getting paid. They're not getting paid to stay away. But nothing will dive into this thing when I have my time. So I give it back to you.
Mobile, let's hear you do your opinion, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson, and thank you to our many viewers and listeners around the world, and thank you to my fellow panelists. I think the president need to take some drastic action to some of these some of the ministers and staffer, because when the minister go, I think some of the staffer will leave as well because there's too much corruption, and the president need to stand up. Because the money that we're hearing, and I made some call today when I was less busy, maybe for the 30-35 minutes, I made some calls, and people were confirming them to me, and people were telling me like, yeah, man, that's true, you know, that's what's going on, but we can't talk. Some people don't want to come out to talk because they say they will lose their job or they will be haunted. But a lot of things happening in the country that much the president don't know all, but when he know, if he start taking action, I think the other people who in the habit of doing such action, they will desist from it, or probably they will like, you know what, Let me just fire myself. But I think the president need to take action. It's too much. There's too much noise around about corruption, evidence all around the places and stuff. The president need to stand up. Or else, I get a president for another December. If no action, look, people will tell me, people will say I join the opposition, but I will speak my mind and I will come here, I will talk against the government until I can see.
But listen, what's holding? So this is where we are. Mobile is telling us that he hasn't been speaking his mind.
No,
Mobile is telling us
no. That's not what I'm saying, Nelson.
No, I'm coming. Mobile is telling the public, he's telling the audience tonight that he's been seeing some things that he should have spoken on as a patriotic Liberian, but he's been holding back.
No, don't misquote my words.
And Mobile, you have to be yourself.
No,
you have
I agree, Nelson. Do not.
Especially to discuss those issues. You can't be holding back, holding some back.
No, Nelson, listen to my English.
This is no campaign period.
Nelson,
for Mobile to keep on being in the campaign mood. But we're gonna have the conversation tonight.
No, Nelson, you can't leave me hanging all alone. I agree. Don't do that. Nelson. I never. No, Nelson. Let me conclude on that topic you just came up with. Look, I said Uben, Uben bashing the government. You know that Uben hitting the government very hard. But what I'm saying is, sometimes when things happen, you talk, it can reach a point that, even the government do good, you can see again until the team for the government to do, the government start doing, if we start talking, what I'm trying to say. Now, for example, the corrupt people who stay in government, and the evidence that's all over Facebook, it overwhelming, and the state in government serving. That's the people I'm talking about for another December. If the people stay there, Nelson, it will be a different route for me. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mobile, for that. Raymond, have you done your opening yet?
No, I haven't. Well, you always disrupt. So, Liberians, we want to thank God for another opportunity to be here and discuss issue that pertains to all of us, especially to those in the audience who come here every night to be a part of the show. Too many things going on in our country, and we are here to discuss them. So, Nelson, let the show get going.
Well, thanks a lot. And let's hope we can have a great conversation today, guys. With all of the back and forth going on now at the level of the legislature, the Senate has gotten involved. And this is where I want us to start the conversation from. The Senate have set up a committee to get involved with this process. Mediation committee to mediate, to make some intervention. And I want to read what the Liberians posted. And then we can kickstart the conversation from here. Thursday, October 24th, 2024, it says the Liberian Senate has set up a mediation committee to mediate between the two groups at the House of Representatives. The Senate feels that the resolution of the matter between the aggrieved members of the House of Representatives and the House Speaker, Fonati Kofa, is in the interest of peace and to ensure a stable legislature for democratic governance. The committee has constituted Thursday, October 24, 2024, by the Liberian Senate during the consultative meeting. So those appointed are Senator Wesonga Milton Finlay as chairman and Wellington Javon Smith as co-chair of Grand Bassa and Riverside counties, respectively. Others appointed on the committee are Grand Jida County Senator Thomas Yaya Nimley, Maryland County Senator J. Blebo Brown, and Grand Cape Mount County Senator Dapa Vabla. I want us to start the conversation from here. Mediation committee. The Senate is saying that In the midst of everything that's happening, resolving it would be in the interest of the country. Resolving it will be in the interest of the Liberian people, and it will be in the interest of the first branch of government. So they want this committee to mediate. But are we still at that stage where this issue can be addressed? Is the mediation committee timely? Is it a little bit late? Could this have been done a little bit earlier so as to prevent us from getting to where we are now? Now, this is going into the second week. It started when the speaker was even away. And even before that, there were conversations in the corridors. You know, before getting to this stage, there will always be planning, the different consultative meetings and the gathering of signatures and all of those things. Does the Senate have what it takes to bring this issue to rest? Given where we are now, where the folks from the majority bloc have thrown some punches at the speaker, and the speaker has also thrown some punches. Some of the folks supporting the speaker have had their own share of the battles that have been going on at the level of the House of Representatives. Can the Senate bring this issue to bear? I want us to start the conversation from here. And let's start with you, Raymond. Let's talk about this committee. Let's talk about the folks on this committee. Senator Milton Gbesonga Finlay, as you know, was on the, how do you call it, the CDC ticket. He has got an alignment with the CDC.
Mm-hmm.
And I want us to look at the alignment of all of the people on the committee. Do they have what it takes to bring about the mediation? Now, forget about the fact that those people are coming from the Senate, the upper house. Individually, what do they bring to the table? What do they bring to this committee that's been set up? What
So
level of
Nelson,
influence do they have?
I don't want to dive into the individual personalities and their qualities they bring because I won't be able to scrutinize them individually because my data on all of them not sufficient. But collectively, let me speak about the initiative. I think it's a positive one. It shows leadership, and that of the Senate and that of the House of Representatives being the first branch of government. So the same when your neighbor house on fire, you stand up because the next day might be your own. So it shows a level of leadership to mediate because I think if the purpose of their intervention is to mediate between the minority bloc and the majority bloc to find reasons to do business on behalf of the Liberian people and take away the dark cloud that's hanging over that of the House of Representatives, that's a good thing. But if their mediation is intended to come and influence the outcome, then that would be a problem because they are not allowed to interfere in the workings of the other branch. But if it's just for them to resolve it, take this out of the public glare, do some backdoor channeling in such that it's not about right and wrong, but just being a mediator to so that a resolution can and things can be resolved so that because they have to work together, come what may. He want a call as a union, as a House of Representatives. So if that is the essence and that's the purpose, that's welcoming and that's should be applauded. That's why they are the House of Elders, and they should mediate in such situation. And I think I would like to welcome it.
But let's look at the timely, how timely this thing is. Is it timely? Is this being done at the right time? Is
Yeah,
it a little
Nelson.
bit, or is it early enough to get things, settled, especially given the nature of the committee?
Yeah, Nelson. It's timely given the circumstances that if things don't spoil, why should you fix it? You don't fix things that isn't spoiled. And they too, they got their own duty, so they can't be meddling in other people's stuff. But wherein there's a need to step in, then you step in. And I think right now the timing is right. It shows that there's a need for them to step in, so they should step in. Other than that, they're not there to micromanage the House of Representative. So the representative manage themselves. But when they have a crisis, the second sitting wherein the speaker did not have a quorum, I think that's when they should step in. And I think the timing is right.
Thank you. Anthony, let's hear you on this one.
Look, Nelson, this is good for our democracy. This is good for our nation. This is good for the Liberian people. Kudos to the speaker for reaching out and not saying, "Oh, I got this. I understand that. I can handle this all by myself." Say, "Look, colleague, we have situation in our camp, and I need your intervention." So you reach out to the Senate Pro Tem, reach out to the President of the Senate, which is the VP of the Republic. And so this is a good thing. You know, anyone who seeks the interests of the Liberian people and reach out to a fellow colleague in the legislature and to resolve this matter, it's a good thing. I remember the very first time Speaker Kofa spoke on this matter, he said, "I tried to resolve this in-house. I wish we could have resolved this in-house instead of it being out there, but I was out of the country. How bad? I'm back now, and we'll see how best we can resolve this thing." There was a question posed if he needed the executive branch to interfere. And he said, "Intervene, I mean." And he said, "No, I think we are, a body, we can resolve the issue. I don't think we need the intervention of the executive branch." And that is leadership. Look, when you are a leading group of people and there are, challenges that you face, other people having reservation, other people having, disagreement whatsoever, you come around the table. You dialogue. One of the favorite words my dear brother Raymond likes to use, that dialogue. If you talk about protest, you can say let dialogue first before protest, right? So I think this is a good thing, right? This is a good thing that they can go and discuss the matter with those people, in the committee. Yeah, I have an opportunity to work with Senator Yaya. I was the campaign spokesperson for him. So yeah, he's one person who will listen, one person who will listen to what you have to say. Even if he disagree with you, he will give you a listening ear. So I can speak to that effect. Listen, this is something that is good for our nation. We need people who will say, look, this thing is not just about me, but it's about the people, and let's work together. One thing people forgetting to know is that if you do not have the number required to remove the speaker, there's nothing you can do about it. The Constitution did not mention majority black. There's no such thing in our Constitution that talks about majority black. The Constitution says 2/3 majority to remove the speaker. Even though when you were electing the speaker, he did not have 2/3 majority. But guess what? The rule says if you have to remove him, if you must remove him for whatsoever reason, you must have 2/3 majority. Now, you will hear people quoting Article 33. Article 33 is to give you simple majority to form a quorum, not to remove the speaker, but to conduct business for the people. And that is a two distinct issue that many lawmakers, including other people who supporting this other lawmaker on the other side, that they have not understood. The Constitution is clear. If this speaker goes to the Supreme Court, the 42 other lawmakers who are now willing to come to section will have no choice but to come, even if they have 48 members. As long as they don't have the 49th member, they cannot remove him. They cannot also stall process. They cannot. By law, they have to go to section and do the people's job until they have the number required. Other lawmakers that they remove, other speakers that they remove, I don't know if they read the Constitution, if they understood this thing, but this speaker, I like what he's doing. Follow the law, do it the right way. I'm not saying I'm not going to leave the seat if you have the number. If you have the number, I will recuse myself. How hard is this thing? Do you want to jeopardize the Liberian people well-being just because you want to remove a speaker? Were you elected to do the people's job, or were you elected to not do the people's job? That's the place we are right now. So I support the speaker in this particular circumstance where they want to remove
So,
the way they want to remove it.
Anthony, what do you make of the timing, the setting up of this committee?
Well, I don't think the timing is bad. I thought the speaker thought by going to section on Tuesday, they will have the matter resolved, right? But he cannot keep going to section and no section, no quorum and all of that different thing. So the best way now is to reach out to these people and see how fast they can mitigate this whole matter. Look, we don't want to have our country the way it's going, but Nelson, if you don't have the number, you can also start the process. I mean, these guys on the other side need to understand. If they can lobby and get the number 49 and remove the speaker, fine. But if you do not have the number, you can't. You say, "Oh, I'll put on political pressure." Pressuring who? The Liberian people or the speaker? That speaker is not going to cave in. So Nelson, I think this timing is right. I don't think it's going to take a whole week to form. This committee will automatically go to work and do what it's supposed to do. Reach out to the individual, the team they can reach out to get this matter resolved. If we don't have any resolution from that, the speaker can go to the Supreme Court. And those for the two lawmakers who are on the other side, who claim now that they have the majority black under our constitution. There is no such thing called majority black. Yeah, you have the majority number, but guess what? That number is not sufficient enough to remove the speaker. You must have the required number to remove the speaker.
No, we're gonna get to that aspect. But again, I want us to move to Moba just quickly. Let's have him weigh in his thoughts on this issue.
Yeah,
Moba.
yeah, thinking that. I think it was a good step from the bigger house, and I think, but my main concern is, if the anti-black fanatic Kofa will be able to go in dialogue, because they are very resilient, and when you see their faces, you know that they are not taking nothing for a joke. They want to stand their ground themselves, because according to some of them, they said there were a lot of accusation. The speaker accused them, allegation and stuff against them, so they don't want to bar by that by going to dialogue. All they want to do, they just want to stay their ground and see who wins. But I think in all the case, or from all indication, I think we should be discussing the Constitution. We should be discussing politics, because I see many times people keep talking, say we're happy doing it all the time. Happy, say we're happy that in our politics, no Constitution. I mean, no Constitution. No, we can say like that, because the people who make the laws, if they violate the law, then what you tell about the common citizen? What you tell about the common citizen? The thing is written in the book. The thing written right in front of them. No A. Let it go to session and do that voting aspect. Those who and let the judge take the place. Let the man come out and express himself. What goes on? What the matter you got want to impeach me? Let him come and say something, so everybody can hear it, be on live on camera, on Spoon, all of the network can be there. Then we the Liberian people now, and all of people will be in the chamber that will asking questions, and if you can answer it, you answer it. But we can just come from behind the hall and say, let the man move, let the man resign, let the man resign, let the man. No, it is wrong. It is unethical. We can't do that. We are law-abiding country. We law-abiding country. Why would people just take things in their hands and then go to the law? We agree. You guys angry. We agree. Y'all want to speak on the move. Okay, that's fine. But you have to do it properly, respectfully, according to the law, so that tomorrow, if it happens, let the people, you guys will be the example that other people will live after. We shouldn't come here and say good because it should be political, so meaning they should bypass the Constitution. No, it shouldn't be like that. And I'm a commend the bigger house, the House of Senate. They're going in to investigate, to do that one or two things and see how better they can put the house in order. But I think, I'm making my prediction, I think it would not be an easy case, because the anti-fanatic Kofa Black They are not. I think they're settling for anything. They are resilient. If you see in their faces, you will know that they will not take nothing. They will not ask. They will not even. Maybe they will sit down and talk. People do one or two things. But I think they will not bow down. They will stand their ground. But looking at anything, they'll go to the Supreme Court. Thank you, Nelson.
Well, thanks a lot, Mobile. And this is very important because this is where the issue lies. And I want us to go there a bit. Today there was a brief interview conducted with the speaker. He was in the corridor of the legislature and you know, and he was just caught. He was being engaged by some media folks, and he said that he's gonna remain engaged. Okay, so I want to play just a portion of this particular interview. He said he's gonna remain engaged. The next thing he's gonna do is to ensure that he use all other means necessary to get his colleagues to come back to work. Now, the last time he spoke on this issue, his point was that his colleagues signed up for a job that has to do with them working for the Liberian people. And so he, as a speaker, he's going to make sure that that is done. He will instruct the sergeant at arms to get those folks to go to work. And I want us to listen to just a portion of this interview conducted with the speaker today.
What next, sir? What was the action? How was session today, sir?
All session is what you saw. We didn't have support.
What next, sir? What was the actions taken today?
You will hear what action will be taken because the plenary asked us to compel the members to come and we'll do so using all legal means.
How soon do we expect this to happen, sir?
As soon as possible.
Thank you very much.
All session is what you saw. We didn't have support.
What next, sir? What was the actions taken today?
You will hear what action will be taken because the plenary asked us to compel the members to come and we'll do so using all legal means.
How soon do we expect this to happen, sir?
As soon as possible.
Thank you.
So there you have it. Mobile and the rest of the guys. The speaker is engaged. He said they're going to take the necessary action. He's going to get his colleagues to come back to work, to do the Liberian people job. Is this approach, is this method anything that's going to work? Now, because we are at a point right now where, like Moba said, both sides are trying to protect something here. The majority bloc is saying that, look, yes, we started this process, but there have been tons of allegations against us since we kickstarted this entire process. And based on those allegations, if we do not stand our ground, it will mean that, yes, everything that was said by folks, and even at some point the speaker, when he said that some of his colleagues are pushing to manipulate the budget and get him to spend public resources. If the folks are saying now, if this thing is anything that we're going to settle in for, the Liberian people are going to believe that, yes, all of what we've been trying to do has been because of money. The folks on the other end are saying that, look, we're not backing down. The speaker said he's not going to resign. Now he's threatening to go to court. He's saying that he's going to use all legal means to get his colleagues come back to work. Raymond, this thing, from last week up until now, is progress being made? Do you see the different approaches as something that's going to bring this issue to rest anytime soon?
So Nelson, our House of Representatives and the members there were elected by the Liberian people to do the job of the Liberian people. And you ask, has there been progress? No, not visible as we can see. But would there be progress? I'm optimistic there will. And like Anthony said, we can see democracy at play, where individuals have the right to make a choice and voice it as such. So yes, and for Speaker Kofa, all his utterances, I don't think is helping the process to an extent, especially where he says he's going to hold on to the powers until, but his powers currently are illegitimate. He's a legitimate speaker given the fact that he was elected and the gavel was given him. But his colleagues are saying they're not going to sit under his authority. Until he can get a simple majority, he can't do the Liberian people business. So he and all the other people on his block are the ones who are starting the Liberian people work. Honestly, the Liberian people don't need Fanatic Kofa specifically to be speaker for the Liberian people work to be done. Any other person who has integrity and who can deliver as such can be speaker. So, but the majority block, the fact that they have quorum can do the Liberian people business. And I listened partly today to the session they had. And they did just such. So I'm asking Fanatic Kofa to open himself up for dialogue. The fact that he even wrote the Senate and asked them to intervene. And I hope when they intervene, all the recommendations.
Listen, are we still at the dialogue stage? Are
Of
we still
course,
at that point where dialogue can resolve this issue? And
Nelson,
where should the dialogue be initiated from in the first place?
those people are politicians, so irrespective of them taking a position, to always know the door for dialogue is open. Because they're politicians, that's their life, that's how they maneuver. So the stage of dialogue right now is to bring both parties together and hear their issues and see how they can resolve them if possible, and having the Liberian people work done. Or weigh in, if the people are resolving that Fanatic Kofa has to go, maybe they might just ask and say, bro, because we have precedents in our country. As much as the Constitution speaks to the impeachment of the Speaker, which require quorum, but the Constitution also has a provision that the members of the House will decide their rule, which is constitutional. And in the rule, it says that quorum can only be held when there is simple majority, which is majority view. That's what quorum simply is. And currently, we have majority view. And majority view is requesting the speaker not to have an authority. And their own rule says that they can even elect someone to chair them. And that person is called the Speaker President pro tempore. So, yes, it's all legal and legitimate for what they are doing. But for the sake of the Liberian people, especially the budget will soon be on the table, we want to ask them to come together and work in
Thank
our interests. What to do, how to do, what to do, their inner politics, well, that's how they do their thing. That's how they even vote. So we can't say much, but just that they come together and get the Liberian people work. But Nelson, as such, I beg to leave. Under the weather, and I've given some symptoms that I think I need to leave the show. But thank you
okay.
guys, and have a great show.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
follow.
Raymond. We
Yeah,
wish you a
listen.
speedy recovery.
Thank you
Yeah.
for coming on.
So let's have you coming into your take on this issue.
So, I'm sorry that my brother Raymond can't stay on the show, but it's okay. Nelson, I always encourage people to take a stab at the Constitution. Read it for yourself. All what they're doing right now, the blacks who don't want Fanatic Kofa. And for disclaimer, I am not the spokesperson of Speaker Kofa. Matter of fact, I am a bona fide member of the ANC. I'm not even from the CDC. But I am a respecter of law and a true believer of our Constitution. Nelson, to have a speaker pro tem, the Constitution clearly spelled it out. In the absence, the qualifier there is the absence of the speaker. The speaker is present, still seated. So that qualifier is null and void. If the speaker is not present, then that option is available. The speaker is still seated in his seat. He has not been removed from his seat. He has also not been, in a condition where he cannot perform his duty, where he cannot discharge the duty of his office. He's healthy. He's not sick. Nothing wrong with it. He's coming to work. We have a group of people who have the reservation and said they don't want the speaker. Granted, they have that right to decide who they want, who they don't want. But in the process, the Constitution also gave you the prescription. You need to turn majority, not majority block. There is no such thing in the Constitution that speak about majority block. The Constitution says you must have 2/3 majority to remove the speaker, or more. If you have more, fine. So if you do not have that, then you cannot start the process. Lobby until you find that number. Until then, hold your peace. Come to work.
Now, but Anthony, when the speaker says that he's going to be using the legal means to get his colleagues come to work, is there something that is going to address the issue that's at hand right now? Maybe going to the court or getting the sergeant at arms to mandate his colleagues to come to work, go to the offices, bring them to work. Is this in any way going to resolve the issue? Is this approach something that is in any way moving in the direction of addressing what the issues are?
Going to court is the last resort. Going to court is the last option that the speaker has. You see that he's not just depending on going to court. He reached out to the Senate. He wrote the Senate Pro Tem and wrote the president of the Senate. They have formulated a committee already. The option of going to court, yes, is in his purview. And yes, he doesn't want to sit there and every time they go to section, they can't form a quorum. That's starting the business. There are a lot of things. There are some instruments from the executive mansion that have been sent to the House that needs to be addressed. An issue with the coastal line, other than the Labyrinth Port, other than different. I mean, there are other things that they need to do, right? And if these guys were dressed up, go to the Capitol building but refuse to go to section to form a quorum, they are starting the process. Yes, they have a concern. Nobody is disputing the fact that they have a concern. The speaker recognized their concern. The speaker is willing to work with them. Yes, what the speaker said on day one. If you have your quorum, if you have your number, come to the floor, give me due process. I will recuse myself. I will not preside. I will recuse myself.
Anthony, that's a great point. That's a great point. But let's go into that aspect a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go into that aspect a bit. So let's assume this majority block decides to go by what the speaker is saying.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to session.
Right.
And raise the issue.
Mm-hmm.
And the speaker said, once they do that, that will mean that he's the accused in that case.
Yes.
So it will call for him recusing himself, a committee being set up, and then once the committee is set up, then as an accused, and the folks and the accuser, the folks on the other end, they can be able to present their plight before the committee.
Correct.
And the committee will look into the case. If it's something that warrants the removal of the speaker, fine. If not, then of course the speaker will hold on. But the big chunk of here now.
Let me correct something real quick. Not just coming to session. Nothing. The Constitution says you must have that 49 first before the resolution can be placed on the floor for debate. If you don't have the 49 number, then that resolution cannot make it to the floor. The resolution will only make it to the floor, will only be eligible to make it to the
floor. No, I'm not talking about the resolution yet, Anthony. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the suggestion, the proposal from the speaker now. Because
Yeah.
that 49, forget it. Once it gets to that 49, the speaker is already out.
Correct.
But this particular stage, where it is right now, the speaker is saying that the folks should go to session and put for the issue. It doesn't have to be 49 before the speaker can recuse himself for an investigation to be done. No. But where the issue lies and where maybe the folks on the other hand are having some issues is who set up the committee? How credible will the committee be? What's the assurance that the committee is not going to play by the speaker's book? Since in fact, it's going to be the speaker who's going to set up that committee, and then he recused himself, and then following that, the process goes on. This is what the speaker wants at this point. But the question is, how credible will the committee be? Because the folks are not getting the 49. The speaker, on the other hand, is not getting quorum. The Liberian people are stuck in the middle. And the people's business is on a hold.
If any lawmaker who is part of the 42 black right now love Liberia, two things you can do. If you cannot get the number, go to work. In the process of working, lobby to get your number.
How do you lobby? You're going to be under the speaker's gavel now. You're going to be in
still
session.
be under the speaker gavel and still lobby your other colleagues.
And
you got to make
what
a
the
compelling
speaker
case.
proposing, the speaker set up a committee, and maybe following your issue, the speaker set up a committee, he recused himself and stuff like that. Who are those that are going to be on the committee? What's the guarantee?
Let's just say it right.
Mm-hmm.
The plan backfired. So right now, everybody's scrambling now to find where they can be at. That they have done it successfully twice. That they removed two speakers of the House with the same process twice. And so they just think, it's cool that they can do it. Right? Even in 2018, when they removed Speaker Nukwe, we saw that. Right? But I can tell you for a fact, Nelson, nobody from that side ever thought that this thing was going to backfire. They thought that the plan would succeed because they did that thing. Matter of fact, you saw that very day when extinction went about at the Capitol building. You saw those folks, including Rachel Kuhn and the other folks, already, made it to that room, and they were sitting, waiting now, for the deputy speaker to come into to that room so they can vote. Right? You can't cast a vote if you don't have the number. But to them, politically speaking, they will use a political means of removing the man as opposed to using the legal means of removing the speaker. To their utmost surprise, they never thought that the speaker was going to have a day to represent himself or to be represented. Right?
Thank you. I want to hold you there, Anthony, and let's hear more about on this.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Look, I think for the speaker to be removed, it will not be an easy task. Because if we're looking at all, like more especially, let's go to the Constitution.
No,
it's different.
Maba, at this point,
Mm-hmm.
the speaker is saying that he's going to use the legal means to get his colleagues to come back to work.
Yeah, Nelson, there are two things the speaker can do.
And maybe I should play this again, Maba. Let's listen to this.
What you saw. We didn't have a quorum.
What session today, sir? How was session today, sir?
All session is what you saw. We didn't have a quorum.
What next, sir? What was the actions taken today?
You will hear what action will be taken because the plenary asked us to compel the members to come and we'll do so using all legal means.
How soon do we expect this to happen, sir?
We will do so using all legal means.
Yes.
Anything that's required legally, we're going to do it.
Yeah. So now the accused, first of all, for the Kofa got a ground to stand on. All people don't know the speaker got a ground to stand on. His removal was against the Constitution by bribery. If that being true, If you read the Constitution, right? If you read section 12.50 of the 1976 Constitution, talk about the penal law. That talk about people who like the legislature bribing people to impeach the speaker. If you and that's a good case. So the speaker get two ways, either to dialogue or to go to the legal means. So when we discuss the legal means, then probably that's why we're going, because I think because we look at the dialogue issue nursing, it will not hold for me. I'm predicting this, it will not hold because those guys are angry. Because the speaker say a lot of things. If the speaker probably would keep mute, and maybe he come out and say anything, maybe they would say, okay, you know what? Let's think and do this. But because the speaker came out and said something, it gets to that they want to revenge. If you listen to that press conference, they're looking at they may say the person say so like that necessary to come to a conclusion in any matter, it is difficult. So if the speaker talking about legal means, let the people go to the Timor. Let them put a matter in for the Timor. Let the speaker exonerate himself, let him exclude himself from the entire investigation. And and then let the process play. We shouldn't come and say everything are politics we should put because we agree everything are politics, but when it comes to the constitutional matter, let we go by the constitution. So for me, Nelson, let the speaker stand his ground and let him go by all legal means. Let him go by all legal means. Because in the constitution, the speaker play a very sensitive game, Nelson. Very sensitive. The game the speaker playing, he going by the constitution. But he anti-group not going by the constitution. They're not going because it happened before.
No, but again, Maba, those people are, lawmakers as well.
I agree. They are lawmakers.
Well,
Yes, they are lawmakers, but they refuse to follow the constitution.
Folks who are educated and know exactly what they're doing.
Of course.
All right. So, do you see this legal process as something that is going to resolve the situation? Just taking a look at the suggestion coming from the speaker for those folks to go to go to session, for them to go to work. If they have any issue, let it pass through that process. He's going to set up a committee, and this committee, once the committee is set up, he will be an accused person. The people from the majority bloc will be the accusers, and then the committee now will investigate, look into the issue. Now, is there any guarantee that this committee in the first place is going to be balanced enough? Do the folks on the other side have any tangible reason for not subjecting themselves or not agreeing with the speaker on that particular process that he's pushing for?
Nelson, they would not agree. Look, Nelson will come there with say everything, right? Look, the anti-fanatic Kofa representative, right, Nelson, they have already made up their mind. And the legal process, let the legal process play. That's that's the main concern everybody talking about. People talking about politics. People talking about let it happen because it happened before. They shouldn't go by the due process. Let the due process play. And Fanatic Kofa is waiting to leave the speakership if only the law and everybody go by the procedure and the law, so that everybody go in an identical place and let him exonerate himself. If he found guilty, the different person can take over the speakership and then he be out. The vote, whoever they want to make speaker, that's what he's saying. Let us go through the due process. I don't think it's a bad thing for every Liberian. But everybody's seeing the people who anti him. I will say that. Me, I'm not a fan of Fanatic Kofa from day one. But saying he began Senate speaker, right? He been doing the Liberian people job. For all we want result. We don't want people come here and say we want result. And saying what all he listed, what all he said. Nelson, so long he going by those things. I'm a fan for him. And I will support him. And I will stand by him because he mean well for the Liberian people.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Emmy, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight. I want us to transition a bit. This thing is getting to a point where it's not just about the speakership anymore. but is extending to the Deputy Speaker position. From the very start of this entire issue, Representative Thomas Fala was being resisted by Edward Papi Flomo, and this is the video.
I can't open it. I will never open it. I cannot open it. I will never open it. Okay. Can't open the door now. Damn road are you? Yeah, no problem.
That's Representative Thomas Fala, the Deputy Speaker. Now, here's another thing. The same folks he's presiding over as Deputy Speaker today, this is what Edward Papi Flomo. Now, this is one of the frontliners of the Speaker's whole, camp and stuff.
Representative Green, welcome to the media.
You all go to criminal Jeremiah Kuhn. You don't want to pass all the things. So why you think it's happening here?
Why you?
Jeremiah Kuhn and resistance should be no order here at Thomas Fala.
Why would they want
Because they are criminal, they know the story. You see all the property Thomas Fala getting in the country today. That the 5,300 US in made for here, build all the property, the guy university. So we are calling for all they refuse based upon that. They gave him lawmaker 15,000.
But he also a CDC lawmaker.
And you accuse another CDC lawmaker. Yeah, because he's a role.
So when did you realize that he's a role?
I think I don't know.
So, this thing is interesting.
Two parties in fighting.
This is a very CDC lawmaker, Edward Papi Flomo. Now, that was about a week ago. Today, they're moving together. So, is this guy now in bed with the criminal? Because he said the man is a criminal, the man I wrote. In fact, all the property the man paid, that criminal money, he paid the property away, and all those kind of stuff. They resisted him from doing his job when the speaker was out of the country, when constitutionally, it is the deputy speaker that is supposed to preside. Now, that's besides the point. Where we are right now is that the majority bloc, since he was unable to preside that particular day, okay, they let that day pass. Other parties have intervened. The former President George Weah and all those different things. They had a CDC meeting. Thomas Fala has given his word to the folks from the CDC. And then the majority bloc that he was in bed with at some point in time, last week, the people gave him for the 8 hours to preside as speaker. Because they are saying that in the absence of the speaker, the deputy speaker should preside. That for the 8 hours has elapsed. They addressed another communication to him that come Tuesday, if he cannot avail himself to preside as deputy speaker, which is by law for the deputy speaker to preside in the absence of the speaker, they are going to declare his seat vacant. Which means this battle now, that not only Councillor Fonanti Kofa, the speaker, will be fighting battle. Even Thomas Fala now can start fighting his own battle if he doesn't preside at the over the majority bloc. They're going to get another person to come and preside. Do you guys think that Representative Thomas Fala will be willing to go through all this, given what he's seeing Speaker Councillor J. Fonanti Kofa going through right now? Is he going to maintain his position that I live for my party, I will die for my party? If I can live, if I can be fought for my party, I will do everything I can for my party. Have the party treated him well in the first place? Have the people, the very people he's in bed with right now, have they respected him as deputy speaker? Is this in any way going to result to Representative Thomas Fala betraying the CDC and moving over to the majority bloc next week? Or are we going to see Representative Thomas Fowler remaining in that particular place, and the majority black declaring his seat vacant, which will then lead to him now fighting another battle, just as the speaker is doing. Let's start the conversation from there. Let's start with you, Anthony. We're going to move to Emmy, and then Mobile will be next.
Nelson, I hate to say it, but I have to say this tonight. You know, I think some of these guys over there, I don't want to say they don't read the Constitution. They just chose not to obey or follow the Constitution. The only time the speaker can preside is the deputy speaker can preside is when the speaker is absent. All right. If the speaker stay in his seat and is not absent, he's not sick, he stay able to perform his duty. You go to the next room, you go have a quorum there and have the deputy speaker. It's not going to hold water. If President Bouaga have an instrument for the government, he's not going to send it to the deputy speaker. They're going to go to the speaker's office. If Liberia, God forbid, should send military to the United Nations to go to the war front, it's the president, the vice president, and the speaker have to declare that. It's not the deputy speaker. The deputy speaker will only be called if the speaker is absent, or the speaker is sick, or the speaker was removed. Even when the speaker is removed, the deputy speaker can only play that role for 60 days. Not more than 60 days. They will have an election and they have a sitting speaker. Look, we need to stop playing this thing they call politics here. The Constitution is the Constitution. If you don't know the Constitution, do yourself a favor, Google the Constitution, take the 1986 Constitution, and read it yourself.
Anthony,
they need to stop doing this.
Anthony, all of what you're saying is one side of the whole thing that's playing out here. The other side to this thing is that this group has a quorum. This group has the majority. This group has 43 persons. If you were to do the margin here is 12, let's say 13 persons, 13 lawmakers. All right. So, do you see the possibility of Thomas Fowler going to preside in line with what this majority bloc is calling for? Or is he going to remain where he is and risk fighting the same battle that the speaker is faced with right now?
It is up to Deputy Speaker Fowler to make his own judgment. But all I can say here, the situation. Right? All I can say here, Nelson, they don't have the number required to remove the speaker. What are they go down the street or 1026 room at that hotel where they can meet, or they go to somebody's house, as long as they don't have the number required to remove the speaker, whatever meeting they have, they're just wasting their time. It's not going to remove the speaker. They can go take a vote. It will not remove it because the Constitution is clear. You must have 2/3 majority of the House to remove the speaker, which is 49. If you have 48 members, it's still not the required number.
Thank you.
So,
thank you.
Whether or not for that article, Thomas Fowler preside over their block or not, the Constitution did not reference a block. The Constitution referenced a 2/3 majority. That's the difference.
Thank you. Emmy, let's hear your take on this issue.
Hi, Nelson. Hey, everyone. Oh, I'm so tired of talking about the speaker issue. I'll try. Nelson, I don't think that Thomas Fowler is gonna give in because, well, for one fighter, I think he's kind of should I use the word scared? From the first day the way he got treated by people from his party, attacking him and calling him names and stuff and insulting his mom. And after sitting with them and having their conversation, whatever they had in party still supreme or whatever they usually say, I don't think he's gonna give in to their 43. And like Anthony's saying, if the 43 cannot make him to sit or what, all the speaker has to be absent. Isn't the speaker absent if he's not in chamber or they presiding from somewhere else? That or the person have to be out of the country before considered absent, or
No, when he's not in chambers, when he's not in session.
yeah. So that's what that is. So I don't think it's because Kofa has to be out of the country or out of the, as long as he's not in that chamber, I think he's considered absent or something like that. So
yeah,
but I don't
be in chamber, not at the house. Yes, you're right.
absolutely. So I don't think it's gonna be Thomas I would not, even though I know he will want to, but he already gave his word to those guys, so I don't think he will want. They already called him a traitor and all of that. It wasn't a proof whatever they thought about him or what they're saying about him, right? So he would not want to do that. I don't think he will want to. If he does, well, we'll see, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think he's gonna stay with his party and whatever means that he has. If he has to go to court as well, when they do that to him, then I guess that's where he will go. But I don't think he's gonna give him to that. As long as the speaker is not giving in to that, and yeah,
Wow,
that's what that is. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't give into that, what this group is saying is that they're going to declare his position vacant. I mean, do you think the deputy speaker is going to take that risk of having this block declaring his position vacant, a block that has the majority, a block that has quorum, declaring his seat vacant, getting another person to come and preside, which is gradually going to getting involved with this whole fight, because once they start declaring his seat vacant too, then it means that anything that happens to the speaker, it, automatically affects him because they already have their numbers. I mean, do you see the possibility of this deputy speaker taking a risk with his position, the deputy speakership?
I mean, if there's a law that says that, Nelson, that 43% can do that. According to Anthony, he said 2/3 majority, right? And if 43 is not that number, like they can always end up in court. But if they have the power to do that, I think that 43 would do it because they're trying to show strength, right? And they're trying to show that whatever they're saying they mean it, and they're trying to get everybody to get in line. So if it means threatening your job, we have to do it to get everybody to be on board. But then again, they have to understand, if Tamafala was on that side before, they have to understand now that he's kind of stuck between the hard rock, right? So it's a sticky situation for him. I'm pretty sure he will not want to go through that with his position, but with his party at play and they already calling him all these names and stuff, I think he's gonna stand his ground. But if the 43 had the right to do that, if they have the power, if the constitution support them to do that, of course they will. And I mean,
thank you.
What can you
Yeah, I wanted to know. I'm being told my representative Jeremiah Sokar withdrew his signature. So they are 42 now, they're not 43, Amy.
They are 42 today. Information is that one of the lawmakers, Michael Thomas, went to Ukraine on an official trip. So that's why they're 42. I'm not aware of the withdrawal of the signature. But Moba, please go ahead and make your point.
We all we get stated to want to say, but let me just read Article 49 of the 1986 Constitution, and that's going to be brief and be done with it. Article 49 of the Liberian Constitution. Article 49 of the 1986 Constitution says only a resolution of a two-third majority of the member of the House can remove the Speaker. Rules 1.9 of the House Rules rules. Come in 1 second. Okay, rules and proceedings says a Speaker may be removed from office for cause by resolution or two-third majority of the member of the House. So why are we still holding putting that thing? Let it go back to the Constitution. But every day we'll come here, we'll say the same thing, and then the lawmakers who know the Constitution more than me and you, they have read this before and they know it, but they're taking chances, or they're taking our chance. They say, you know what? Let us take our chance and see if the man will succumb to us. But for the Kofa stand the ground. But next to your question on the Thomas Fala and his partisan, when it comes to the money, look, next we all know. Lawmakers, how much they get paid. That's why that's why Kofa say when people allocate money in the budget, people put money there for themselves. That's all what he need. Thomas Fala day to day. Look at the building those people get. You think working government can get, even people that working government
again, I don't want us to keep trying that allegation like the lawmaker Edward Flomo is doing. Because he's saying he's saying that the deputy speaker is corrupt because of the universities that he's building. But again, when did he get to know? All right,
that's what I'm saying.
And I can tell you more. If you went back to that lawmaker to redo this interview, his choice of words, and probably his position, everything may just be far different from what you heard him say here.
But
and this is part of the game.
That's the reality. Yeah. He was saying the fact. It's not about something that we don't know. Not saying something, he's saying something that we don't know in the public. People know. Nothing working in government. You getting 7,000. Times 7,000 times the time you've been working. How much money you paid at school with? It's $1 million school over there. And you get out of school. How many businesses you got that gave you that school that you take your own hard-earned money and pay that schools and get all the property? Nothing. It's simple. It's very simple. You shouldn't come here and say what I'm saying that all of them looking in the house. That's what they've been doing. Concession from concession to concession, putting money for their own personal gain, for their own development. What they want to do, they do it. Nobody asking them. The last says they're on George Weah. No man stole more than millions of dollars in our house. And that's why Funatu Kofa, although he was there, he know the games. That's why he said it before doing the interview. He said, I made some fault, I know, but I'm ready to teach it. Because the only way Labrador can teach if we teach a horse. That's true. That I play one in Labrador. You say president, you go, you say president, they want. If that horse, if the people sensitize that horse, any other day, next thing you know what happens? The Liberian will enjoy because there will be hospital, there will be good medication, there will be schools in the country, there will be police officers, security, people will take pay, and money will circulate in the country. But that horse, that didn't want holding the progress of the country. So what Papi Flomo was saying, he right. That's true. That's true. That's something that Andre is saying that's how those men have been getting all the money, all the heavy millions of dollars. That's how they've been getting it through concession and other deals. So we shouldn't come here and say the method because of slave autonomy because you're angry. No, Nessie, this is a reality. Liberian know. Come here on survey. People in Liberia know they can say it, but they get no power. The power.
Thank you.
In Funatu Kofa. That's why they're against him.
Thank you. I want us to take a few calls. I want us to take a few calls from the folks out there tonight on this.
I want that 30 seconds, but anyway, I'll wait.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so you can take your 30 seconds.
I know some people in the comment section trying to ask questions. Why is it the speaker still holding on to the speakership when he knows that he can't have Kofa when they go to section? It's simple. The reason why he's still holding on is because one, the people don't have the number. Two is because he has the last option, which is to go to the Supreme Court, and they will compare these guys to come to section because they don't also
No,
come to
but again, Anthony, the legislature is a separate branch of government. All right. So the Supreme Court cannot interfere. Okay, so let's put it this way.
No, the Supreme Court can do hear a case. Yes. Nothing.
Listen,
it is the Constitution.
The Supreme Court will not.
Yeah, but it's the Constitution that also give that provision that the Speaker can take his case there, because the framework was very clever, to know that there will be circumstances such as this. And then the Supreme Court, which is the higher arbiter of the law of Liberia, has the power to rule. And so,
let me say this:
you don't have the number. You can remove me, and because you can remove it, you can also disrupt the process. They are disrupting the process for political reason, which of course, yes, they have the political will to do such.
Okay. So let me ask you. Let me ask you this question before saying anything. So what do you think? What are you looking at? Are you saying here that if this goes to the Supreme Court, the court will issue some rate or something and tell all the lawmakers, y'all go back to work, y'all go back? Is that what you think?
All our law, they are obligated to come to work. You show up to work, you get paid. You want to stay home and get paid? Under our labor law, you must show up to work to get paid. If there is no leave of absence, no leave because you're sick, nothing like that, what are you home?
No vacation.
No vacation. What are you home?
Let me say this. They will move to Emmy, because Emmy wants 30 seconds as well.
No problem. Let me mute myself.
As much as the Supreme Court is the final arbiter of justice in the country, the highest court, we have three separate but equal branches of government. All of those three branches of government are supposed to work independently, without the interference of any single branch of government into the workings of another branch of government. So this is the thing here, Anthony. The Supreme Court will not issue any rate to say, y'all go back to session. If you don't go back to session, we'll put you in jail, for example, or you can go back to session. The fact that this process is political, that's something that even the judiciary is very careful with. All right,
there is prescription for that. I didn't make the Constitution
because the judiciary wants to work around this thing in a way where it doesn't get involved with the politics. That's not one of the branches of government that's supposed to be political.
No, right now, the legal matter we're talking about.
The judiciary would do. I'm coming now. The only thing the judiciary would do is, Mr. Speaker, we've heard you. You have a case, but go back and settle your issue with your colleagues. This is not about somebody stole money and somebody take somebody case, somebody no.
If that is the case, then that forever the whole
because say you will use legal means.
This is about now I'm coming. This is about procedure. This is about process. This is a political process at the level of the legislature, at the House of Representatives.
Okay, so can I come in now?
Okay, yeah. So
let me come in, but I will bring a case to you so you
So,
we'll get involved. Go ahead.
If Anthony is saying that this is in the Constitution that the Speaker is supposed to run to the Supreme Court and they are supposed to intervene, and Nelson, you saying it's political, so they can't do anything that would take them, Mr. Speaker. Then why was it put in the Constitution in the first place? If that's what's supposed to, they should be strangling each other, want to throw each other overboard, causing each other mind. They should just let it be that because
I mean, let's
yeah, man. Then why was it put in the first place?
Let's do this. On a regular, in a normal situation, that lawmaker who was heard insulting another person's mother. In a regular situation, you can take up issue with that man, you can carry the man to court, and XYZ stuff will be done. But this is the legislature. This is an independent, a separate branch of government that's called for the responsibility to handle her issues at her own level. But anyway, Emmy,
Yes,
continue.
give me 10 seconds.
If this, the legislature.
Explain like what they came in or the one that came in, they came in. Anyway, I'll get time to explain that.
So the legislature can do anything, like hold a country hostage and do all of those things, and like the Supreme Court, as the Constitution stated, not allowed to do anything. Okay, that's okay. But Maba, you're saying that what the guy named cousin Marcos Papi Flomo. Okay, when you're saying actually that, you're saying that it's not a slip of tongue. No, he wasn't saying that.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
He was saying that because he was angry. He was putting him out there. He was feeding him to the wolves. Those are things that they all know, but they would never say it when they are friendly, because this is my God. This God is in my party. This is my own criminal too, and I'm pretty sure Tomafala know his own dirt. So they were not saying it, but Ben, he felt that Tomafala has betrayed them. That's why he was coming out and saying all of these things. So it wasn't anything like a slip of tongue or whatever he was saying. Whether it's true or not, he was just saying that because he wanted to put him out there and air him out. I think that's what that was. It wasn't a slip of tongue.
Nancy, that give me 30 seconds, man. I'm not talking much. Yeah, but look, Nancy, if we will not obey or go by the Constitution, no need for him to put it there. No need for him to put Article 49 of the 1986 Constitution. No need for him to put it. Let's get apart from that, and then anytime they get dispute among themselves, they face it. So that tomorrow, when they say that do they want to go to court, they say no, they face it. Because without the Constitution, that's why they put the Constitution here to guard the process, so that everybody can get their own legal error. So that when the speaker say this, when they say this, then they can't face it. They go to when nobody not go through it, then they run to the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court is the highest court. They run to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court will interpret it and send it back. But the Supreme Court say, "I'll go do it." In case they go do it, at the end of the day, they keep doing the same thing. So that bro will be on a hostage. That's the question we need to ask. So there will be no concession. There will be nothing. The budget will not be stay. It will be static. Nobody will touch nothing because the improvement. We gotta be serious, man. That's it. Yeah. They will tear apart from that, and they will forget it. So that tomorrow, when it happens,
I enjoy the comment section.
Yeah.
Somebody said there's a precedent already at the Supreme Court. That precedent is in the favor of Kofa, not in the favor of the Constitution. There is nothing called majority black in our Constitution.
Well, I understand what they're saying too. They say other speaker has run to the court and nothing happened. So maybe that's why they're saying that nothing.
They went there because they left their position. Anyway, let's go to the phone.
And now, hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from.
Thank you, and thanks for the panelists. My name is Thomas Kumen. I call you from Upper Kawe. I just want to ask a few questions. I heard one of your colleagues saying that the other guys are not working. So, are you saying they are not working? So all the time to go to section is not work? So I don't know, because if they are in a majority, then I think in my mind they are working. The Constitution gave them their own laws, gave them that provision of working. That's why they will order the sergeant arm, they order the clerk, and they are working. Okay. So they didn't go different place. They were in the same capital building.
Thank you.
So I think they are working.
Thank you very much. Let's go there and take another person. Hello, you are live. Your name and where you call from.
Thank you, Dyson. Thank you very much. To Moluba and your co-panelists, you see, we say DeLong is a third grade student, but you guys should follow DeLong post. He posted yesterday. You see, legislative politics is different from judiciary, from executive, so on we go. You see, Liberia politics, if you guys follow Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf interview with Al Jazeera from 2018, she said Liberia is big, but it's small and deep in politics. Let Honorable Funati Kofa fight his own fight. Let him fight a good fight. When he does that,
thank you.
Everything in our house will be calm and polite, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
I come in nursing, please. I don't want as of today or tomorrow or day after. It is a law. Unati has 30. According to news and news reporters said, and I'm quoting from them today, rebel. The rebel have 43. Even if they go to the Supreme Court, they take it to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court has nothing to do with legislative politics. They will send it back and say, "You go face your trouble."
I want to hold you there, sir.
If they are coming there, let me just say, if they continue, our people will suffer. And this government that want to do better will suffer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your input. We'll take 4 more calls and then we wrap up. Let's go to this line. 0555-101075. So there's a little bit of issue with our line from this end. So let me see if I can get the number from the other network that I can announce. But you can also call the WhatsApp number that's up there and you'll be live on WhatsApp. Hello.
Hello, Nelson.
Yes, you're live. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Nelson, my name is William. I call from Fargo. Nelson, I want to ask you a question. This constitution only for those guys in the majority. It's not for Panelist Kofa too, because you guys say the majority does not have no right. Like Anthony saying the majority does not have right, and then you say the majority have a right.
No. I'm not saying the majority has a right, or any party has a right here. I'm just saying what the process.
Look, for me, I don't have problem with you, right? My problem has to do with Modiba and Anthony. Anthony interpreting the whole constitution as if to say those people in the majority, they are not represented that was voted to come into the house too. So they are interpreting in a way that Panelist Kofa is 100% right. Now there's a quotation that says, if the Mahdi can walk to the Mahdi had to walk to Muhammad. If those guys can walk to Kofa, I think you have to walk to them too to see how best you can materialize things with them. But it's not right for us as a country. We got few bunch of people sitting down just delaying our democracy. Then we sitting down here, we say Panelist Kofa right, the other person right. I think it's a time that we people who like Panelist Kofa turn to Panelist Kofa and say, go to these guys, maybe in their session, because they are in the number, they have these sessions. Panelist not have these sessions. Panelist need 37 president. He doesn't have the 37 president, get 30. Then you telling me Panelist is only 100% right. What right Panelist get over there now, Anthony? What right?
Thank you.
Because for the 3 and 37, it's never the same. 12-person marching is not play, my brother. So I think we have to talk to Panelist. Panelist, go to these people. If they can't come to you, go to them. Constitution said that too.
That's what you there. Thanks a lot. Thanks a whole lot for your input tonight. You can call the WhatsApp number that's up and make your input. Let's see if we can take just 2 more calls and then we will wrap up. You can call 0555-101075, or you can also call our line 2. What did I have? Let's see if we can get this person to come through. Hello, you are live. Your name and where you calling from?
Good morning, Nelson. Thank you. My name is Alfred Dennis for the second, and I speak to you from the township of Johnsonville. So, with the issue under discussion, I have been following it as well. And like you rightly said, And for Nati, if I per the information this evening, he also withdrew the rate that he filed in for to the Supreme Court. Because if you follow Edison case, for example, if Onadi goes to the Supreme Court will send him right back. The Supreme Court will tell him, go back and you guys need to first follow the administrative proceeding and then you need to follow the administrative mechanism before coming. So what can be done right now is the Senate committee that have been set up today, the Senate Senate committee, and that committee, per my information, Fonati is not negotiating as to see what can be done because the majority black automatically Fonati have been removed. Fonati is not negotiating different things, not even a resignation issue. I can assure you Fonati will resign very soon. He will be pressured to resign. Thank you.
Thank you. And something happened at the Senate today. Let me see if I can get that video. I wasn't doing extra recording, so sometimes it's difficult to get some of these videos. Why session was going on? I'm about to answer this person here. I can't answer you, but let me do something here while you're talking. Then we can why session was going on. Something happened today. Representative Samuel Koga walked in session. Okay, I'm coming, guys. Let's take this person. I think this person will be our final caller. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, morning. You're live. Let's hear you.
My name is Momo Dennis Conan, calling from Sydney, Dishweful.
Momo, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm learning that some people are accusing the president.
You said you mean you learned that some people were accusing the president?
Accusing the president.
Mm-hmm.
That he was behind this thing, that pushing the lawmakers to push the speaker apart. But then this morning, BBC, ERBC, the speaker laughed on ERBC this morning and said, he don't blame nobody, even the speaker. Even the lawmaker, before Chimo, Tomo Father, he don't even bring nobody. Whosoever that behind us scene will be on their own, but he bring that what Liberian people want him to do, that what he's going to do. So I don't know why this lawmaker want to move him in power.
Thank you.
For me, yeah, okay.
Well, that's all the time we've got to take some calls. So we can start to do our closing now. Where is Anthony? Okay, so let's start with you, Moba, because you're almost always in a hurry.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Yeah, thank you, Nelson, and thank you to our many panelists. Viewers around the world, and also the comment section was very hot, and we said thank you guys. You guys making the show hot. Look, I listened to the other caller who said the man withdraw his complaint. The reason he withdraw that complaint because the Senate already trying to step into invest to go and to try to do a dialogue. That was the reason. It's not because any different reason. Because I went through it and I saw similar thing attached to that. That was the main reason he withdrew that identical complaint from the Supreme Court. But again, let's say this, right? We all understand things happen. A lot of things been happening in the House of Representatives. If we're looking at Fonati Kofa and everybody that bashing on him, like they don't want him. And when you ask them the reason, they can tell you nothing tangible. And when you say, okay, when they say what they want to say, when they list all the accounts, they say, okay, they'll go and they'll go justify in the chamber. They can go justify it, but they won't sit on the speaker to justify. And so the speaker can be removed, or if he can vindicate himself, that's fine. But when I come here and say, oh, because the speaker forced to do this, the speaker must resign, no. That first of all, yeah, people, everything, that horse, that politics horse, that the reason why Librana nowhere, because they're going by the Constitution. Everything that politics. That the reason why that horse, majority of the people that have been there saying nothing, we see their horses they get, see their businesses they get, the Liberian people, we elect them. We keep suffering because the people, they're not going by the law, they're not going by the Constitution. And that's the common sense. Common sense. The thing already in the Constitution is there. You go by it, and you take the speaker out. Then everybody talking politics. That's the reason made today that brother is sin. And that brother keep being the same until we can change our mindset, until we can live by the Constitution. And first of all, majority of that thing in our boss they need to amend that Constitution. Because the entire Constitution, they give all the power to the representatives. That's the reason why they can't anything they want to say they get power to remove judge, they get power to remove president, they get power to remove anybody they want to remove. They must go amend that Constitution so they can be powerless. The only thing they must get on there, they must put maybe the only benefit, all that thing where they come in, the only benefit they must get 500 every month. You won't work for your country, you go there. You don't know when they give you good health care, good benefit, and other things. That's it. No scratch card, no gas money. The government initiate own gas station. Government car go there, they fill it in, and then you go. And all the money go to government cover. I think that only way the government will generate revenue, then we can start talking about the budget going to billions of dollars. But you get one lawmaker carry 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. They know that they will come and will say the city over and over. You think change will come? No. They're contract for only a certain group of people, and I didn't want to enjoy it. And the majority suffer. Thank you, Nelson, and thank you for the show.
Anthony, please do your closing.
Thank you, Nelson, and I want to thank our audience. I want to thank our followers, those that are trending heavily in the comment section. Thank you for keeping your abreast and keeping challenge every night. We appreciate your time here. For me, I come here not to hold you accountable, but to hold our lawmaker accountable. But we appreciate you guys trending in the comment section. I'm not a lawyer. I don't profess to be one, but one thing for certain, it is in our Liberian Constitution that the Constitution must be taught in every school. It is in our Constitution. So those that remove civic from the school, they need to put it back in the school. Because the Constitution said, teach every citizen this particular book or this particular law here called Constitution. And so, if you do not have the numbers, not because you can remove somebody. So I hear people say president. By moving somebody politically, that's not president setting. The president is by law. That political thing, you pressure somebody to remove, nobody can cite that in law, in the code of law. You can't go cite political move in the code of law. And some of you just say, I'm using my own opinion. Well, I love the legal aspect, so I follow legal proceeding. You can't carry political pressure in the court. It will not be admissible in the court. You will carry precedent in the court, and the judge will look at it. That the same thing they say, oh, Mr. Comey got the document, you might get agreed. What happened with that document? They end up throwing that case out of court. That what they're doing for nothing. For nothing. You know, you want to get a lawmaker. The other people get 42. Well, guess what? Those 30 are on the side of the law. The 42 are not on the side of the law. Thank God our framework did not put majority block in the Constitution. If that was there today, we don't have Kofa. Because you have the majority. Another thing, yes, we can have quorum to conduct business. The quorum is not to remove the speaker. Again, you can have quorum to conduct business. So they can come. They have quorum. That means they need to take the instrument that are supposed to be working for the Liberian people, but even when they work on it, once the signature of the speaker is not on it, it's null and void. There's a reason why we have 3 branches of government, folks. Yes, Liberia is a unitary state, but we have 3 branches of government. There is not a parliamentarian government. There is a Republican form of government that we have in Liberia. Know your constitution. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Anthony. Professor Anthony Gay. Emmy, please take us home. You're closing.
Okay, thank you, Nelson. I just hope this will be the last time we'll be having this constitutional debate about this house and the leader do. And I couldn't agree with Anthony when he said that they're 42 or 3 or to have quorum but not to remove the speaker. I couldn't buy into that because I think if that was the case, they would have been removed him, right? all the sitting they've been doing. So it at this point, I don't know what's gonna happen, Nelson. I think a lot of bad blood has been spilled. I don't think it was wise for the speaker to do that interview and throw people under the bus. So that alone is not. I don't know how they will sit behind closed door and talk about this when people are already saying, "Oh, you have already painted us in the Labrador eyes as we want to do that, we want to do that," and so people right now they're mad, personal vengeance they're spilling out there is not going to be anything good. I don't know. I don't want him to because he's being pushed or whatever to resign to do that. I would love to see the right way and everything, but at this point, I really don't know what's going to happen because if it's not being done the other way, if the other people don't have the number and they want him to resign and the whole thing going up and down, I guess someone has to get it. Have to give him either the so-called majority block or the other side has to give him and do what is right for Liberian people. And I hope they would think about that. We have a lot of things going on in the country. Kids are not going to school. We have hunger. We have hospital being, empty, whatever, a lot going on. The country needs to move forward and that Capitol Hill there has been people say Liberia's problem and they don't need to make it so obvious to be holding the country hostage after they already known for damaging the country like it is, because if they were doing the right thing there, then I think Liberia will be doing better by now because there's Brian Envelope thing. I don't want that to happen with them removing speaker because of that Brian Envelope stuff. I really don't want it to happen, but then again, everybody keep talking is political. In Liberia, things happen that people accept it the way it been happening, and it should be like that. So we don't know. That just might be the case or not. Or for 19 might be the single person that beat the odds. So we'll see.
Thanks a lot, Emmy. Thank you, Anthony, for being here tonight. Thank you, Morba, as well.
No
Thanks
problem,
for
brother.
audience. It's been a great edition of the program. We look forward to being here again tomorrow. Until then, to everyone in Berlin, have a good night.
But Nazim, pray for our whole leave.
We'll have these.
Nazim,
yeah.
Pray for our whole leave, my man.
My man, the people can pray before they start a meeting, and then after they finish praying, they argue and you insult each other in the meeting. Then when they finish doing that, when they get there, ask
So
God.
guys, thanks to you, folks, for being here. I'm
Nazim, you're asking for bar bread yesterday. I read to quote that bar bread to you. You gotta pray before I quote that bar bread.
Emmy Masha territory, Mobile Zoka. Look, Representative Koga went at the Senate today while session was on. He went. He had his 360 in session. He shook the hands of almost all of the senators until the presiding, the vice president, became concerned. He said, we have an intruder here. Sergeant how did Samuel Koga enter session today? How did he get here? And he went and shook everybody here. He said, look, Mr. Vice President, Putin, I'm lobbying. I came to lobby.
Lobby for what?
But this is the beauty of the process. I want to hold it there. Thanks to everyone. That's what. Have a good night. Liberia is all we have.
What was he lobbying for? You gotta say it.
And, Royce, I wish I had time to engage you, bro. If you want, send me a message.